Hi, welcome to the live stream. This week, this is just on the evening before rather than on Saturday at 11 o'clock, like usual. However, it'll still have the same impact. And so Archangel Raphael is going to speak to the people who are listening and the people who will be listening as well, and share appropriate messages, do some healing as well and talk about the week ahead. Yeah, I'm just going to let Raphael come in now and speak through me. I would like you to know that I'm speaking on behalf of many messengers of light. And when I speak, what I'm doing is translating information that I'm receiving from a much higher source. There are many angels who exist, and I, Raphael, am not necessarily one of the highest, but what I do is act as an intermediary between the much higher angels and the earth plane. The reason I would like to share this information is because I would like you to know that the angelic realm is made up of many different layers. And what I do is I am able to go between the layers. I am able to receive information and give it to you. But also, what I am able to do is take energy that you are not able to transform yourself and help you transform it by giving you much more energy than you currently have. What I mean by this is that energy that gets stuck within you in the density of physical matter becomes very hard to move at times. And what I am able to do is come into your field with a higher energy and help you to transform your energy, to shift negative, dense energy and transform it into something much lighter. And the way I do this is by coming in, but also bringing in much higher energies that are coming into me from higher realms, from higher angels. So I am able to be a bridge between the density that you are holding on to on the earth plane and the much higher planes. And when you are in complete harmony within, with the oneness, you will automatically access these planes yourself. You will automatically be resonating to these realms. But in the meantime, what I do is act as a conduit to help you transform more deeply until you are fully resonating to the light of oneness, and that and from which you are able to access the much higher levels that I do. I am sharing this also because I want to clarify that my function is not only to give you information, it is also to help you to find your own connection to the oneness on all levels. I come in to assist you in this way. And I also want you to understand that no one is asking you to be perfect. But what you are being told is remember to keep going within and keep transforming from the inside, to not let go of this, because through this you will ultimately find what you are looking for. I have a few more messages to share. I would like to share that there are some people in the world who will never change. There are some people in the world who are happy as they are, regardless of how much misery their own state brings them. They are happy on another level to stay there. And what I want you to know is that those people will never ever be able to have a powerful impact on the world around them, but they are stuck in their own identity and they want to stay that way. And I want you to be aware that those people may be part of your family, they may be part of your circle of friends, and I want you to let people be, not expect other people to change and transform, to let go of trying to control who wakes up and who does not. Let people be and let yourself be transformed by the light within and go on your merry way. The reason I'm saying this is because I don't want you to fixate on people who you would like to change. I want you to be free in your awareness to go wherever you want to go in this lifetime, to not feel that you are held back by other people. I want you to know that whoever you have in your life who is not willing to change, whether it is part of your family, it may even be your husband, wife, children, parents, or other loved ones, let them be and let them find their own way in time. I want all of you to know that the new age is about letting people be. It is not about fixating on certain people, believing that they are the problem. It is not about putting responsibility on other people in order to be happy yourself. It is about the complete opposite, in fact. It is about letting people be free, whether they wish to wallow in their own negativity or whether they wish to transform. I want you to know this because a lot of unhappiness has been created by people who are light hearted and well on one level. But what they are then doing is fixating on others who they believe that they can transform and creating misery for themselves. There have been many of you who have fallen into this category at times, believing that you can never be happy because of the family you are born into, because of your husband, wife, family members, genuinely believing that if they were to change, then your life would be better. I want all of you to transform your point of view, to go a bit deeper, and to realize that nobody is able to make you happy, that it is all about you doing it for yourself, choosing happiness, choosing wellness, making choices that help you feel good, and letting others do the same. Giving yourself a full and clear sense from the inside that you are responsible for your own life and your wellness, how you feel moment to moment. And through this, there is a great deal of empowerment found, particularly for those of you who are used to feeling victimized by others, persecuted, or perhaps even feeling that you are really very much the type who is at risk of being taken off the planet because of other people's behavior. What I'm really trying to say is that for you, especially those of you who feel this way, it is especially important to put your lives into your own hands now, to take responsibility, even if it is the case that other people have caused you a lot of pain and misery, and there has been no fault on your side. Take responsibility for what you can, even if it is the smallest things in your life. And then the universe will support you in all other ways. I also want you to know that this is not the same as taking it inwards, what other people are doing, and believing that you are to blame for it. It is not the same as denying your feelings and pretending to yourself that other people's actions have not harmed you or made you feel a certain way. But it is about acknowledging your feelings as deeply as you can, and then taking responsibility for what you can, and then allowing the universe to do the rest. For those of you who have suffered because of others, I want you to know that the reason behind this is often because you have not taken enough responsibility for yourselves, because you have not felt able to look after yourself in some ways. Perhaps it has been you were not able to walk away from certain situations or find the courage to speak out. But there is something you were not able to do, perhaps for good reason. But I want you all to acknowledge that in this moment you are able to take responsibility for the parts of you that you have not been able to in the past take responsibility for. I want you to know that self-care, looking after yourself, is absolutely essential in order to then be able to be the best person you can be, to be who you are in spirit on earth. That first of all, you need to be able to look after yourself, really care for yourself as deeply as you can. Move away from situations that don't feel good. Move away from people who you feel are not taking responsibility for their behavior and actions towards you. People who you feel are harming you in some way. Take responsibility and move away, and let yourself then ground more fully in your earthly self, in the safety that you create for yourself. Remember that once you have achieved this, everything can grow in your life more fully and completely. Every other aspect of your life can flourish. But in order to get there, this needs to be worked on first for a lot of you. And this is something I am speaking about because it is a very sensitive subject for many people. Self-responsibility, self-care, what it really means to take responsibility, and understanding that taking responsibility isn't really not the same as believing you are responsible for other people's behavior. It is about doing what you can to make sure that you are in a good place. I also want you to know that personal responsibility also includes making sure that you are not doing anything that is creating harm to others, such as perhaps using energy in a way where you are using it to get your needs met, rather than going within and asking the universe to meet your needs. Personal responsibility is about really going within, being responsible for your own needs, and making sure that you are clearing energy and asking from within, rather than making other people feel that they have to take responsibility for you. I have a lot to say about this at the moment because it is important to really focus on these things. Because when you get these things right, it really makes a big difference. There are many people on the earth plane doing extremely good work, but they have not got the basics of their lives sorted out yet fully. And because of this, it trips them up. It means that they are not able to do as much as they would like. Or perhaps when they do it, there is a way that they feel that something is missing. They have a sense that something is not quite working for them. And that is often because there is something that needs sorting out on another level first before the higher levels of their lives can grow. What I'm also trying to say is at the moment is a good time to focus on these basics in life, to not try to run before you can walk. Go right back to basics and spend some time there until you feel that you have fully mastered certain areas of your life. After this, I see that you are able to grow exponentially in other areas of your life. After this, a lot is able to happen for all of you. But at the moment, pay attention to these details. Make sure that you are giving yourself enough time to really focus on these things. And make sure also that what you are doing is taking responsibility, not making other people responsible for what is going on in your life, but taking responsibility yourself and letting go of people who you feel are not right for you instead of fixating on them and trying to change them. I also would like you to know that through this there will be tremendous change in all your lives. You will find that through this a lot will work out and a lot will happen. I would like to share a few more messages now. I want you to know that when it comes to life in general at the moment, there is a lot to be said for internal reflection. There is a lot to be said for looking at yourselves, your lives, and making changes on an everyday practical level. No one is asking you to do great things at the moment. You are being told it is the time to make small changes in your lives, in your everyday life, whether that is something as basic as simply changing the way that you structure your day, or doing other things where you are looking after yourself on deeper levels in certain areas. I wouldn't want you to know that there is also going to be a tremendous shift in perspective generally in the mainstream, and it is all going to be focused on people's emotional, mental, and spiritual health from now onwards. There is a lot to be said about having good physical health, but you will notice the focus will be less on the physical and more on the emotional, spiritual, and mental aspects of a person. And because of this, I want you to know that those of you who are in this area in life working to help others, you will be inundated with people who will want to access what you are offering. I want you to know that it is this part of life that is ready to flourish and come to life now. And I want you to know that this is what you are preparing for in the near future. You are making yourselves well so that you can then assist others to be well. I want you to also know that this area of life will be very much at the forefront of people's awareness for a long time to come, not just for a few years, but it will span a couple of decades where emotional, mental, and spiritual health will be what people are interested in. It will be an area that will rapidly grow from now onwards, and people will find different approaches to staying well, to becoming well. And finally, what you may even notice is as a result, you start to feel that there is much more you can be doing in this area when it comes to your own life. And the reason you will be guided to improve yourself on this level is so you can inspire other people to do the same. I have a few more messages to share. I want you to know that at the moment you will start to sometimes feel a bit like life is a bit slow to start for you. You may feel at times that there is so much you want, and yet you may feel that things don't happen fast enough. The feeling you are all having along these lines are all about the changes which are to come shortly. Life is really changing, and you are being prepared internally for what is to come next. There will be enormous change for all of you. It is not a case of subtle changes anymore. It is a case of big things happening in order to really get you up to speed when it comes to your earthly lives. A lot of you here feel a bit left behind when it comes to your earthly lives, like there are things you have missed out on, or things you have not had the opportunity to do for various reasons. All of this will be sorted out in the near future. It is now the time to get everybody up to speed, so nobody should be feeling left out in the near future or feeling that they don't really fit into everyday life, but perhaps because they have been so neglected and mistreated. It is no longer going to be the case. It is a time for inclusion, a time of greater compassion, connection, a time when needs will be seen by others that people have generally and will be met by those who can. Believe it or not, life is changing to support those who most need it. And because of that, the parts of you that have struggled for a long time will no longer struggle. This is good news for all of you, and it means also the parts of you that have a lot to give will be able to flourish in this new age. The struggling parts will receive in abundance, and the parts which are well will flourish in abundance and will be able to give to others. So, in this way, you will both find that your purpose expands, but also what you receive, and the deeper aspects of your being that have always been ignored, neglected by life will finally be seen and given to. I also want you to know that this process is going to happen for everybody. No one will be excluded from this, but the people who go deeper will have deeper aspects of their needs met. The deeper you go, the more you will be met by life. The more you have to give, the more opportunity you will have to give it. So, depending on how deep you go and how much you have to offer the world, according to this, that you will have your own experience of life. I want you to also know that there is going to be a lot of change also for people who have been doing a lot in the world and have not really been well on the inside. They will be given the opportunity to take a break and repair themselves from the inside. So they will be able to step down from public life and have a break whilst others come in and take over for a while. Finally, I want you to know that this restructuring of life will include every area, and so expect a lot of doors to open for you in the places in your life where you would like them to. Because where you would like to have opportunity to express yourself, to make a difference in life, these opportunities will come rapidly from now onwards. I have one more message about this, and that is there is a lot to be said for being in your true, authentic self, not overextending yourselves for others. When you are very true and authentic and give according to what you feel to, people notice, and because of this, you automatically find doors open. When you overextend yourself, you eventually burn out. And what happens is that people become disillusioned with what you have to give. I want you to know that it is important to be true to yourself. It is important not to overextend, because through this it does create some karma, and this karma is then something that you have to work on dissolving away and coming back to neutral. So I am encouraging you all to take the time you need to really find your center, find the place within you that wants to give, wants to serve, and serve from this place. But don't force anything. Come from your authentic self. That is all. I want you to know that the week ahead will be very similar to what it has been in the last few weeks. It will be a mixture of going within, but also opportunities that will come your way. Good opportunities, doors which will open, new things that will happen. That is all. Hmm. Yeah, so thank you for listening, everyone, and wishing you a lovely week ahead and lots of love to all of you.